Yes. Mhm.
Hey everyone, we are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm wonderful now that you're here. Sometimes I feel like we're running to each other on the beach, and then we get close and then we give each other a big hug. You know those commercials? Mm. So, to our audience tonight, in case you hear a little technology glitch, there is a little bit of technology fun happening on the other side of
Sometimes I'm
Gratitude
running
Girls.
a little.
Yeah, it's running a little slow. Okay. You hear me okay, Lori, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, it's just a little glitch. So we're here. Technology had a little game with us, and the good news is we won. And here we are. So tonight, this is our second week creating a Facebook Live announcement and then going into our private Zoom dining room, as I like to call it. We will be serving gratitude in our private Zoom room tonight to all of our clients. And we would love for you to join us. We have arrived fashionably late because they say that 10 minutes is fashionably late. So we just thought we'd keep you on your toes tonight to see what you did. But we're here. And yeah, we thank you. We thank you for your patience. I could announce myself and introduce myself. My name is Catherine Asaro Myers, affectionately known as Rara. And I am sitting in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada tonight in breezy, cool, snowy Niagara-on-the-Lake. We are sitting here with winter. And I guess it's pretty because, snow is nice few weeks out of the year. And I'm here with my awesome, amazing Gratitude Girls partner, Lori Delk.
Yes, and I am Lori Delk-Radecki. I am an hour outside of Nashville, an hour south. If you've watched the news, you know this area, we don't normally get snow. We get ice if we get anything. And just like true to fashion, but this year was actually worse than ever that I've even lived here in Tennessee. We got more snow than my kids have ever seen in their lives, and my oldest is 33. But the problem was we got rain and sleet, and then it froze. So the same thing. So everything was ice first, and then snow for 5 days. So we literally were in our house for 7 days. We went out on the 7th day, and the roads were terrible. Once you got to the main highway, you were fine. But all these back country roads, it's not fine. So, and then we did make it out for a little bit on the 7th day, and then we came back home, and then we almost didn't make it up the hill. So anyway, that's what goes on around here down in the South when you're not used to it, but still we have 4-wheel drive, so you can drive on snow, but you can't drive on ice. So
Right. And you guys are very equipped with your trucks. So it's not even about the equipment you have, right? The conditions are just so out of control there. I'm really glad that you're inside and safe and that your family is all safe. And we're happy that you don't venture out into that to be an adventure seeker. So we're happy for that. And for our show, oh, look at that. It's a show. It's a coaching show. How do you like that? We just renamed what we do for our show tonight because tomorrow night is our Gratitude Girls show. We'll put some information here so that way before we go into our group, whoever's watching this on the replay, you'll know a little bit about what I guess what you missed. Right? Yeah. So we'd love for you to be able to take advantage of all that we have to offer. And we'd love for you to come into that Zoom room with us. And every Monday, this is what we'll be doing. This is our brand new format, new and improved. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about how to get back on track. So if you're on a track and you veered off it a little bit, you're thinking, I want to get back on that track. How am I going to do that? Well, we're going to chat with you tonight about that in our private Zoom room, private just for you. I was going to say, Lori, I'm an executive with Send Out Cards. And then I thought, okay, I'm an affiliate with Greener Still. I'm a star affiliate with Greener Still. And I thought, I'm not going to complicate anything. I'm just going to say I'm Rara. But you are here tonight because you are our client and or you are I was going to say customer affiliate. You are on a $97 plan with Send Out Cards. And we're thrilled that you're here and that you have met the criteria, so to speak, as we have, because you've chosen us to be with us. And for that, we are going to continue to give you amazing value, marvelous coaching, and touch on subjects that maybe you've never touched on before yourself. So if you do have a coach, these subjects might be new to you. And if you don't have a coach, Gratitude Girls Coaching is really special. We will touch on specific topics so that you could follow us and learn about getting back on track. That's tonight's subject. So, Lori, do you want to bring our group right into our private room at this moment?
Yeah, if anyone joins on, we will go ahead and bring you into the group, into our private coaching. So I thought we would talk about our 5 goals to get back on track just for like 10 minutes before we go private. And then we will go more
Perfect.
in detail once people join us. And then that part will be private. So you have to join us to be involved.
Yes, I was speaking to some of our clients earlier today, and they were strategizing how they're going to get into that private room based on what's going on. So let's talk a little bit about, we'll call it goal number 1. Goals versus solutions, solutions versus goals. I heard someone say to me, I don't set goals. I don't really, and I'm thinking, okay, do you have solutions? How do you go about something? Let me take something physical like exercise. You have an exercise goal. The goal is to exercise, period. End of subject. I'm going to exercise. How often are you going to exercise? Twice a week, 3 times a week. You decide. What's a solution versus a goal? Well, one solution could be I'm going to set my alarm, ask my Siri, Cortina, Alexa, husband, daughter, son to remind me. I'm going to set things up. The solution is I'm going, and there's Alexa speaking to me. And the solution is that I'm going to set everything up so that I can get that.
When should I remind you?
Thank you, Alexa. Set everything
Of
up.
course.
Set everything up. I could actually activate your digital assistant if you have me loud enough in your room. I can trigger her. So you could set everything up so that way it's all set up. You could set out your exercise clothing solution. You could set up the time with your alarms solution. You could eat appropriately for the day that you want to exercise solution so that you could exercise on that day goal. Make sense?
That makes total sense. And yes, and it makes so much sense too of the things that you're in control of, right? So like your goal might be I want to weigh 120, 130, 140 pounds, whatever. But then if you don't hit that, especially in a certain time frame, then do you feel like you failed? It's a lot in your mindset, right? And so and especially Catherine, that's her background, right? So she can talk more about that too, of how she used to teach and train on that and still does to this day. But you know, something too, like I have a client that that one time that she made her plan was, her goal was same thing, go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now it wasn't work out, right? Because sometimes you just don't feel like working out, right? Even though you should, we sometimes still don't feel like it, right? So, but her goal was, I'm going to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So one day she was in the gym and she was in the gym dressed in her gym clothes and she was knitting on the side bench. And somebody said, why are you knitting at the gym? She's like, it's, how it is. Sometimes you just aren't in the mood. But my goal was that I would go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm here. I've completed my goal.
That's cute. That's really cute. And that could actually bring us into tip number 2, don't be deterred. So I'll shift a little bit to something that might be very obvious to you. I am growing out my hair. Goal versus solution, and don't be deterred. So what could be a deterrent? I get frustrated. I see somebody else's shiny hair. I don't have a plan. I don't have a goal or a solution. And I don't know what the end is going to look like. So don't get deterred. If you have, I have an image, a picture, I can show you the picture of exactly how my hair is going to be. And I know what it's going to look like. The reason why, so don't get deterred, understand and communicate clearly to yourself the reason why you're doing that. So I invite you to share with me your journey and your tips about growing out gray hair so that I don't get deterred. And that's by bringing support in. Right?
Right. Yes, exactly. And that's the same thing. Like, we're in the process again of renovating and moving and all that stuff with the house, right? So we're going to have, and we do have plans. We're looking at hiring a contractor now, interviewing them, and we have our, end result of what our house is going to look like. But we're going to have all these steps in the middle, right, to get to that. So the same thing, like a lot of times you look at what your end goal is, or your end plan that you want to get to, and then you work backwards and you fill in all those steps from where you're at now. Like right now, we're back at ground zero, starting to pack, and this one is even going to be longer because it's a huge renovation. But we're starting to make all those different steps to go in the order that we want to get to where we end up at our goal.
And we are here cheering you on so that you do not get deterred. Which brings me to step number 3. Analyze if something went wrong, analyze what went wrong. So I was going to go to the gym. I was going to work out. I was going to grow out my gray hair. I wasn't going to get deterred, but yet something went wrong. So let's analyze it. What happened? Well, we need to be aware. We really need to be active, listening to other people, paying attention. I like to take notes because this helps me to learn. So I'm always writing. I can type it, but I really like to write it. And knowing what went wrong and analyzing it can give us some light on, would we do that again? Will we let that happen again? If I'm aware that I'm tripping on the dumbbell in my home gym. What went wrong? Well, I'm not working out because I keep tripping on the dumbbell. I keep hurting my toe, and therefore I just can't go in there. Analyze what went wrong. So let's move the dumbbells. I mean, I'm making it very simple, but yet it probably is very simple.
Right, exactly. And I can show you another thing too that happened today. So the same thing, like I said, we are in the process of interviewing different home builders, construction workers to do our big renovation. So my husband wanted to interview several before we decide who we're going to get. So he's in the process of, he does the interview and tells them what all we're doing or whatever, but I'm the one that looks all the people up, finds them, gets them on the appointments, that thing. So we had a contractor today that so we texted back and forth. I sent him a list of all the stuff that we're going to do, that we're going to want to do, which is like this long, and make sure that, ask them, is this something that you're capable of, this big of a type job, and so then if it is, then we get on a phone call, and then the next step is to meet in person. Well, so this guy was supposed to call at noon today, and I let him know that I had appointments the rest of the day today. So I was tied up. We met with another contractor at the house today. So this guy was supposed to call at noon. We had noon to 1 open to talk to him. He didn't call the whole time. He finally called at like 3:30. Well, my appointment with this other contractor was at 3 o'clock. So I obviously didn't answer the phone. So we were at the house showing him and everything. So then he called back again at like 5:30. Well, 5:30 was dinner time with my husband. I don't answer the phone then either. So then I got a text from him. I just have to read it just to. So it said, for real, then give me a call back. Okay. I thought, wow, this is supposed to be a professional home builder that I'm giving $200,000 to do a complete renovation and rehab and remodel of our home, because we are basically taking everything down except for the brick and redoing it all. So needless to say, I said, wow, seriously, I waited at 12, and then I've been in meetings most of the day with clients, as I told you. We were giving you almost $200,000 of renovation as per my list. And I work also and have clients. I cannot just answer the phone at any second. But with that comment, I don't think we'll be a good fit.
Can you repeat the comment? Because you cut out on your internet.
He said, I tried to call and got voicemail again. If you are for real, give me a call back. So I thought, just think of that. Would you ever respond to a client, a potential client, no matter how big or small, but we're not just redoing a bathroom. So would you respond with that kind of attitude, and especially and I didn't even go into, hey, I coach people for a living, and this is not how you want to respond to your clients, but you just lost this commission. And he replied to that, what comment? I've been getting nothing but scammers lately on my phone. I am for real and I take pride in my work. It doesn't take you but a minute to send a text. So yeah, it doesn't take a minute to send a text, but like I replied, when I'm in a meeting with a client, I don't look at my phone. I'm not disrespectful. I am present with my clients, but good luck to you. I wish you the best.
And so it wasn't hard to analyze what went wrong there. And this is it's very interesting. You have all the data in front of you. So you're really in control of the situation. Imagine if you were getting this like third hand or second hand. So you can see what went wrong. What I love about this situation, not that happened to you, but what I love about it is that you could analyze what went wrong right in front of you. It's pretty black and white in text, right? Which leads us to number 4. And probably you could probably speak to this as well. Analyze our habits. Okay, so 5 goals to get you back on track. Goal number 1, solutions versus goals. Number 2, don't be deterred. Number 3, analyze what went wrong. Number 4, oh, look at that. I said 5 and I'm going to have 6. Analyze your habits. Who can count? I can't count. So let's analyze our habits. If you're going to get back on track and you know that you're having to get back, it means that you got off track. So if it's about getting into the gym, working out, finding someone to renovate your house, working with clients. Let's say you want to work on your client files. It's the end of the year. Excuse me. It's the beginning of the year. You want to get your income tax ready. Get back on track. Analyze your habits. If your habits are not conducive to you getting to the goal, to the mission, to the vision, then you would go back and look at all the things we just talked about and say, well, these are the habits that got me here. And every year I'm late filing my taxes. And every year I really don't want to look at it. And I just wait till the last minute. Maybe that's where you can start by analyzing those habits, analyzing what went wrong, and then start to create a new habit.
Yes, exactly. And funny that you say that. This is what I'm in the middle of is our taxes. And so, and of course mine's a little bit different than the average Joe because I run several businesses. But one huge thing that, that you can do on exactly what Catherine just said, analyzing your habits. So if you don't use it, here's a huge tip. Buy Quicken. So you can download it. They charge you $10 a month, or I think it's like $115 a year, whatever, something like that. Averages out to be about $10 a month, right? But in that, you don't ever have to balance a checkbook. You don't have to even put all your stuff together. I put in all my credit cards. I put in my personal account, my personal checking, my business checking, my savings account, my annuities, different money market things. You can put all these in one spot so therefore you can see your overall, and then you can print out a report. So what I do is I print out a report that shows me exactly who I paid, the date, what category it's under, a memo if I have that, and the amount. And so I can go in here and I can look at, for example, Home Depot, how much we spent at Home Depot. I can look at Dillard's, how much I spent on clothes at Dillard's, right? So I can look at exactly at a glance, exactly how much I spent. So I can analyze my profit and loss. 2, I can analyze my expenses. I can see how much I spent at Starbucks. Maybe I need to adjust that a little bit. Probably not. I adjust for those little things in there. But, but if you're spending and what you want to save or whatever is not in alignment of what you need, this is a huge way. When we had to do more of a budget, this was a huge way for me to smack my hand a little bit and critique myself to be better and analyze things to help me to get to where I wanted to be in the future, to where now I still like to keep track of everything, but I don't have to worry about that stuff as much anymore.
Analyze your habits. That's a great tip and a great tool. Quicken. Love that. I love that very specific training on that. Search for a role model. So Lori could be your role model right now, based on how she takes care of her finances. You say, I want to be like that. So you search for a role model, how to get back on track. So you're off track. You're off track on taking care of your finances, your business finances, your taxes, going to the gym, working out, growing out your gray hair, looking for the right contractor for your house remodeling. find a role model. Look up to someone or find someone you look up to and say, I want to be like them. I want to do it like they do it. And then you can, mimic. The best form, the highest form of flattery is really mimicking someone. I remember once walking into a send out cards meeting when Cody came to Toronto, because I used to live in Montreal. And Carolyn Terracini was waiting inside, and Elena and I walked in. Now, ladies, tell me if this has ever happened. We were both wearing the same exact dress. So now here we are going into an event, talk about a role model, and we're both wearing the same dress. Now, Carolyn is 5 inches taller than me and blonde, and I'm wearing the same dress. The hem is a little bit longer, didn't look exactly the same, but yet we both sported it in our own way. And I said, let's take a picture together. Let's just tell everyone we'll be noticed. And we were noticed. That was quite an event. Who would have thought that we thought so much alike, that we had shopped in the same store? So find a role model, find someone you look up to. And I think about that often, that moment. And I think there probably are more conversations I could have with that woman, that friend of mine. Her name is Carolyn Terracini. And there's probably more conversations I could have with her about clothing, because I could look up to her knowing that we both bought the same dress. And I did speak to her about a few things that she bought, and she did give me some tips. And we shared some sort of shopping tips back and forth. And gentlemen, ladies, you know how important that is to have shopping tips, because you can never have enough. So we learned a few things about one another. So whatever the subject matter is, I recommend that you do find a role model and someone that you have something in common with. So if you both wore the same dress once, then you can probably say that they qualify.
Right, exactly. And also think of wherever you're wanting to go, right? And follow those role models. So if you know someone, that has what you want, follow them. See what they do. A lot of people I follow on Facebook, I follow on Instagram, I follow on LinkedIn, right? Because I look at some of the things that they post, that I have some sort of connection with them. Maybe they're one of my role models, or maybe we just connect well together. And just like Catherine said, you wore the same dress, you have the same style, or you're looking to them for something else. One of the things of us building out in this country scene was starting to garden, starting to do kind of homesteading type stuff, which we still plan to do in our Columbia house. It'll just be 40 minutes closer into town, and I'll have an acre and a half to work with instead of 8.5 acres. So, so I joined some Facebook groups and followed a couple people on Facebook that are really into that homesteading stuff. Now, there's a lot that I'm not going to do. Like, I'm not going to go out and find my own meat and kill it and skin it and eat. I don't do that. But the gardening, learning how to plant the garden and how to nurture the garden and how to grow better and more organic, that all I'm into. So, so find different people in different areas of your life that you can follow, that you want to learn from, right? In the last several months, I've joined and followed several marine moms because I've got one coming. So, and if you are watching this, pray this coming Thursday through Saturday, because that's when my son goes into the most hardest part of all the boot camp. And when he comes out on Saturday, he will be a Marine.
Someone to look up to. That's awesome. In advance, congratulations and lots of love to your son. Which leads me to tip number 6. And I said 5, but 5, 6, what's the difference? 1. Find your passion. Now, it's funny, Lori, we have a guest tomorrow on our show, and she just sent us information that we needed. But in her email, she wrote a quote by Steve Maraboli. If you hang out with chickens, you're going to cluck. And if you hang out with eagles, you're going to fly. What an amazing coincidence. There are none. Find your passion. When you find something you love, you never work a day in your life. When you do something that you love, you never work a day in your life. So tap into that. You might say, well, I'm, cleaning houses. The domestic engineer that does this work for us loves that work and is so good at it. I've seen domestic engineers that don't really do a good job, and I don't think that they love it. I think they might just be doing it because they need the money. Think of an accountant. Think of a hairdresser. Think of a coach. Why would you sit and listen to something that somebody's saying? Why would you do that? Because you have a passion. Besides a skill, and if you find your passion, then you can get back on track. Lori and I, just before the show started, I said, I love your lipstick. Is that Too Faced? Is that what it's called? Too Faced? And I'm always looking at Lori's lipstick. I'm passionate about makeup, and I Google makeup. It's ridiculous. I spend so much time looking at makeup. It's a passion. Well, 62. So 37 years ago, I must have been 29. I was 29 years old. I decided, oh no, that's not true. My daughter was 2. I was 24 years old. I decided I was going to help women with their makeup by being a Mary Kay representative. And I learned from Mary Kay. At that time, it wasn't really called network marketing. It was direct sales. And I loved makeup. Before I got into Mary Kay, I was in Avon at 16 years old. I was selling one thing in Avon because I thought, oh, I love to be able to get those samples. And then I moved on and wanted to help women with their skincare. So when you find something that you love, incorporate it. And then I went on to do theatrical makeup for my high school and loved applying makeup to people. Theater was such a huge deal for me. Drama, public speaking, announcing, no surprise that I have a business with presenting, being up on stage or helping people get up on the stage. So when you find something you love, and to this minute, think about, I ask people, complete strangers, how did you get that line on your eyeliner? Did you use tape? I will be at a cashier at a supermarket and say, how'd you get your eyeshadow like that? Can you tell me the tip? I have met people that have been nowhere in my zone, and the next minute I meet them, ask them about their mascara, and they're my friends for life. Find something that you're passionate about because it really will serve you and it will help you to get back on track.
Yes, exactly. And also even on that, when you ask other people stuff, that makes them feel honored, right? That makes them feel valued. Like think about, a 17-year-old cashier and someone like you comes through the line and says, "Oh my gosh, your makeup's so beautiful. How did you do that?" Isn't that going to just like boost their bubble, right? And make
Yes.
them feel good. So you could do that while you're also finding your passions to find out what you love. And the same thing, and you can have lots of different passions too. You can find a passion that is your purpose and that you are helping people to get to where they want to be in their life. But you can also have passions of just what you love. Like I love hot pink and glitter, and that's one of my things, right? Everybody that knows me knows that. And that's not something that I'm really making money with, so to speak, but it is a part of my package, right, that defines me. But it's a part of my passion that goes into my whole package of my purpose.
Mm. Of course, we all know that about you. Remember when we started Gratitude Girls and we had the Gratitude Girls bling for the t-shirts? I found those the other day.
You
Can
know,
you
I
believe?
found them too with this move.
Right? I found them with my move. Like, okay, I could put that on here and let's go find some shirts and then let's do it. We have to iron those on, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna designate some shirts for that because I think it'll be really fun and cute. Maybe we can set a goal of opening up a clothing line this year.
That might be nice.
Look at that, where these ideas are born. We're both so passionate about, you said bling and pink, and I like makeup. Maybe we can do Gratitude Girls cosmetics and Gratitude Girls gratitude wear.
There you go.
All right. So remember where we heard it first. So on this note, with our 6, not 5 tips, 6 tips, we now can go into our Zoom room and answer any questions that you might have, whether it's on this subject or it's another subject. We will be hanging out there for the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Oops, 5 minutes. We will be in there hanging out with you, waiting for you. And thank you so much for being here. Lori, this is awesome. I love this. This is amazing.
Yes, perfect. Thank you everybody for joining us. And this does end our recorded portion as far as in the group. So go to the Zoom link that we posted in the group. And if you want to get on with us privately for a little while. Thanks everyone. See you next week.
Thank you.